Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing these blue French tip nails with pearls. So I wipe the nail clean with acetone and then I take Mia's Secret Bond and I brush this over my nails. So the trick with this is not to apply too much, just less is more, and then it gets like a nice sticky coat over the nail. So once I'm done with that, this nail is a lot shorter because it keeps breaking. So I'm applying this nail form that I bought a while ago. And I'm sticking this kind of underneath the free edge of the nail. And you want to kind of make sure that there's no gap between the nail form and the free edge. And then I take my old bottle of all-in-one BIAB by the gel bottle and I brush this over the nail, and then I'm really careful around the cuticle, and then I start to apply quite a bit to where the nail form is. Now you'll notice the nail form keeps coming unstuck, and I think this is because it's a really old one that I got from Amazon. So if anyone has any recommendations for nail forms that are a little better than this one, that would be great. But basically you apply some all-in-one BIAB to the whole nail and then a little on top of the nail form depending on how long you want the nail to be, and then a flash cure, and then I put all-in-one BIAB on the other nails. And for these ones I'm just flipping the nail over and I am making sure that it levels out. So here I'm really trying to make sure that I build the apex of the nail. So that's like where the structure has like a bump in the middle of the nail. So it keeps the nail strong. So I flip my nail over and then I brush it. So it kind of has like a slope in the middle part of the nail. And then I do a flash cure for 15 seconds. And then I go on to the other nails. So basically I just want to set this one in place and then go on to the other nails. So I'm just brushing the all-in-one BIAB again over the nail. I've kept on the nail form because I want to do 2 coats of the BIAB on the nail that has the nail form on it, just to increase the strength of it and to make sure that the structure is fully there before I take off the nail form. I've made the mistake before of applying a thin layer of BIAB where the nail form is, and then I take the nail form off and the whole nail comes with it. So as in the whole, the whole extension comes with it. So you need to make sure that you have quite a thick layer of BIAB on the nail where you've put the nail form. So I'm just doing first coat on every single nail, flipping over, letting it, so it self-levels, but sometimes I'm impatient and I just brush it as I flipped it over. And then I do flash cure every single nail. And then I'm onto the thumb. So for this nail design, I actually really didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So I really got out like some nail foils and different colors and pearls and glitter. And then I got out these little, I have like these little shell, they're like, what are they? They're like little sequin type things that are like in the shape of a shell. And I got those out with the intention of using those as well. But yeah, I decided to keep it simple because sometimes I find that if I do too much, then I get a bit bored of the nail design. So I kept it really, really simple. So the whole design took me, it was like an hour per, or just under an hour per hand. I'd say 45 minutes per hand. So that's like an hour and a half total, which I'd say is pretty good for doing your nails at home, right? Like going to the salon, I would say probably would take about an hour and a half. So here I've taken off the nail form and I'm just painting more of the BIAB on, just because it's kind of harder to get the apex on the nail where the form is. And like I said, you really want to make sure there's a lot of strength on this. And one thing I forgot to say was when you have the form on your nail, you really need to make sure that the side walls are fully covered, because I've also had it before where there's been like a slight gap in the side wall, as in the natural nail is slightly wider than the tip that I've created, and then it just drives me crazy because I'm the type of girl who picks my nails a little bit when I'm a bit anxious, and so I will end up picking off the nail tip if there's any kind of gap or anything that's obvious or rough with the nail. So then I take this blue color. You can take any pastel blue color. So this one is by, I think it's by a brand called like Uminek or something. It's like it must be not English, because it definitely doesn't sound English, but I don't know if I'd recommend this one specifically. I would say get any pastel blue. So basically I'm painting on the tip of the nail. It's easier now my nails are a bit longer to make sure that I can paint the French tip and not cover any part other than the free edge. But honestly, this process, I find, firstly, if you kind of steady your hand on the surface that you're on, but then also you can clean this up. Like, you can get a brush with some acetone on and you can clean up the area along the free edge. For this design, I'd say also it's not so important because we're going to be adding glitter and the pearls. So yeah, so not so important that you have a clean free edge, but I made sure to clean it up anyway. So basically, I just dipped my brush in acetone and then I'm going over this part just to make it like a nice clean line. And then once I'm happy, I do a full cure. And then I do a second coat on any nails that I feel like need a second coat. So where it's not fully opaque, I go over it. So this doesn't need to be every single nail. You'll notice as well, I actually unintentionally forgot to put, I usually put the light pink Beetles colour before I put a French tip on. I kind of forgot because I was thinking so hard about exactly what design I was going to do. But honestly, I'm not mad about it because it means that it will grow out nicely. And I also feel like it's a nice colour combination to have my natural nail and then this light blue colour. I just think it looks a bit nicer. It looks a bit more like oceanic and seasidey. So then once I'm happy with the French tip, I do a full cure again just to set that in place. And then I do a layer of the all-in-one BIAB. Now when I was experimenting with this, I tried to just put the glitter straight on the tip without the BIAB there, but I realized it makes way more sense to put a layer of BIAB and then it gives the glitter something to stick to. And then also when you go to put the pearls in, it sets them in place a bit better. So I thought it kind of kills two birds with one stone. It gives the glitter and the pearls something to stick to. So here, I'm just doing a really thin coat of this. Nothing too crazy. It's just to give the glitter and the pearls something to stick to. Let me know what you think of the format of this video, by the way. I've deliberately not slowed down the process, but what I've done is just kind of cut bits in between. So in some places, obviously you're not seeing like a full minute cure and things like that. So obviously the process is quicker on this video, but I've not sped up the clips at all. So you're seeing the whole process in real time. So I take this glitter, and this glitter, I think I got it from Amazon. It's actually really funny. So this is glow in the dark glitter, and I kind of forgot this. And so sometimes at nighttime, I did this set like 2 weeks ago. I'm just posting the video now, but sometimes at nighttime I can see it glowing in the dark and it's really nice. It's like I feel it would be good for Halloween. I think I have one that's like orangey or red coloured for Halloween. I feel like I'm going to do like a glow in the dark pumpkin or something. But yeah, I'm just sticking this glitter to the tip, and sometimes honestly like this isn't really neat and tidy. Like it sometimes is going below where the tip is, but it's actually like the whole point of this is that it's not too tidy and not too detailed, because this way I generally will keep the nail design. If it's too detailed, I tend to kind of get like a bit, I don't know if it's like bored of it, or if I start looking at every single detail and pulling it apart and then thinking like, actually, it doesn't even look that good. But this one, I was really happy with how it looked because I didn't add too much detail. Let me know what you guys want to see. Honestly, I've had like a few anxious nail picks over the last week, so some of my nails have actually broken since I filmed this video. So I think the next video is going to be like a short nail routine, and I don't know if it's going to be like a more of like a kind of nail rehab, strengthener, natural nails kind of thing. So I'm taking these pearls. Again, I believe I got this from, in fact, I know I got this from Amazon. I actually bought this because I got married in February, and I wanted some pearls to stick on to, I had like a gel manicure included, and I wanted some pearls to stick on for some extra detail, but I ended up not even using them. Like, I was so preoccupied on the morning of the wedding. There was no way that I was going to be sticking little pearls to my nails, and I don't know why I thought that I would have time to do that, but they've definitely come in handy. I didn't really think about using them for like a seaside beachy set, but I think they look really good. So I'm happy with how it looks. I did a cure after I stuck the glitter and the pearls, and then I'm just applying top coat. What I will say is, here you kind of have to be really careful with like sealing in the pearl, because I did have one pearl kind of come off when I was being like a bit too rough with my nails. So make sure that you're kind of putting extra on the tip basically. But yeah, I'm really happy with how they look. I think they came out really, really cute. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Once I've fully cured, I put on my favorite superfood repair oil by Nails Inc. I was also, by the way, thinking of doing like a nail cares favorites kind of video, like favorite cuticle oils, favorite hand cream. So again, subscribe if you want to see this, and thank you so much for watching. See you soon. And this is the final look. So yeah, mermaidy and beachy style kind of look.